How long have you two known each other?
We've known each other for about a decade, Your Honor.
Okay, so were you good friends?
We were great friends. She's my ex-best friend, I would
Best
say.
friend. Yeah, litigation has a way of getting in the way of people's relationships. But anyway, so tell me what happened in this one.
So for this particular case, Your Honor, it's a little bit of the history of our friendship. We met at a concert venue. That's how we were introduced. I wanted to go to med school and become an anesthesiologist. And she wanted to stay behind and grow at the concert venue, which is where she met Liam. And Liam is, to say the least, a hot mess. And that's pretty much when the friction of our friendship began. So time and time again, from even their first date, uh, he stood her up and had this moment of, had me come in and wipe away her tears. And this was just the beginning of many of these instances.
How long have you been dating Lee?
7 years.
Okay.
So it's been a while. And this incident, among many to take count for, is pretty much what led us here today.
At some point, she had some disagreement with Liam, and you ended up buying her an airline ticket.
Yes. So at his family's annual White Christmas Eve extravaganza, she was led to believe from Liam that he wanted her there, and she decided to surprise him. And when she arrived, she was not only not welcomed, but rushed out the house in tears. The mother
Why? That happened.
talked to her.
Tell me about what happened.
I made the assumption after Liam told me that he wanted me there, that he wanted me to meet his family, and that
How long have you been dating?
7 years.
You're
But
touching your stomach. Are you expecting?
yes,
Whose baby?
Liam's.
Have you met the family?
Well, now I have.
But so you're dating 7 years and you never met his family?
They live across the country. They live in DC.
Did he see his family in 7 years?
Yes, he goes for Christmas, but I usually go to my parents' house, and they renewed their vows, so they're having a second honeymoon, so I couldn't go.
So you had nowhere to go for Christmas because they took their second honeymoon right in Christmas, your parents.
Yes, that is
That's great for them. And then so you had nowhere to go. He tells you, "Oh, I wish you were here." Did you say, "Okay, I can go"?
I told him that was great and I wish I could be there. And so I decided to surprise him because it sounded like he wanted me there and that this would be a great opportunity to meet his family.
Right, but there's something off. If you haven't met the guy's family in 7 years, he's never invited you to a Christmas there before. There's got to be something off.
He doesn't always get along with his family. They don't agree with his career choices. So there's not been a lot of action.
So So what I don't understand is if you haven't met the guy's family in 7 years, he doesn't want you to meet his family. Either because he doesn't care about his family, he doesn't get along with them, so it doesn't matter, or because something else. Didn't you have like some suspicion about why it is he doesn't take you to meet his family?
Of course I did. But for the majority of the time that we've been dating, he wasn't really in contact with them. He's been recently rekindling their relationship.
So didn't you think it might be stressful for you to show up uninvited to a house on Christmas Eve?
Yes, I did. But I thought
And fly across the country to do so?
he had been talking to them for a couple of months, and I thought they were excited to
Right, but maybe this is the kind of situation where maybe you should ask him, "Hey, should I go?"
You're right.
And then he could tell you, no, it's too soon. Let's wait until, okay, so.
In retrospect, I fully agree.
Oh yeah, retrospect, I look really wise. Actually, it's like the obvious choice if you've never met them, not to barge in on their Christmas Eve. So you go and tell me exactly how it goes down. I'm mortified and I'm a fly on the wall. Tell me exactly how it goes down.
Well, after texting Liam, I had scheduled a plane flight to go over there. And
When you say after texting Liam, you mean where he says, "Oh, wish you were here." That's what you mean, not
that's
going. Okay, so he doesn't know you're going. Okay,
Correct.
go on.
And it was more than just his immediate family. It was extended family, friends of the family, because they host a white elephant.
White elephant. So that's like a present exchange. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people. It's not just immediate family. So I thought it would be a great opportunity because it's a lot of
Well,
different.
where are you going to stay?
I was hoping to stay with Liam.
So basically, you're going to make yourself a guest in the home of people you haven't met without having asked them. Sounds like garbage when I say it, right?
So they've been dating for 7 years, and because his family lives on the East Coast, they have never met. And he keeps going to celebrate Christmas with them every year, yet never invited her to come along. And when she decides to just go and barge in and introduce herself, it doesn't quite go the way she planned. When you decide to fly all the way across the country on a Christmas Eve to meet the family of your boyfriend that you've never met before and they have no idea you're coming, what can possibly go wrong? I truly hope you're going to find out what is happening in their relationship and why he never introduced her to his family, although there are Vibers and Skypes and FaceTimes and all these apps that would help you to just do a video call and do the introduction. That way is flying us too much. When I met my husband, and we didn't just live on the opposite sides of the country, we lived on the opposite sides of the world. Half a year after we met, he actually flew to meet my parents. So nothing is impossible if you just wish for it. Let's go back.
So you show up. Oh, and ding dong. Take it from there.
Well, I show up and his mom opens the door. She's clearly a little bit confused that I'm there. And I say that I am Liam's girlfriend and I introduce myself. And after she calls Liam in, because he was on the couch, he was just frozen in shock.
Was he smiling? Was he happy? Did he come hug you and kiss you? Or was he just...
Before,
Hold on. I'm sorry. We're not talking to you. Is she like a really territorial friend?
Yeah, she has never liked anyone that I've dated. She doesn't like any other friends that I have.
Okay. So tell me what happens.
Well, he was there in shock and his mom looked at him, looked at me, and basically just said that he could do better than me.
Based on looks?
Because
Your hubris to show up uninvited.
I think because I showed up uninvited.
So just the first words out of her mouth are, you can do better than her?
Yeah, pretty much. I can see now why he wasn't talking to them for a while. But anyway.
And then what happens? How long are you standing there? Are you inside or outside?
I'm still outside. I hear the family talking. I hear whispering happening.
And where's Liam? He doesn't walk outside with you or bring you in? Nothing?
No, he's still just standing right behind the door and
doesn't say, come in, come in.
no.
How old is Liam?
30.
Go on.
So after seeing how unwelcome was, I apologized and I walked out and I called Melissa back, telling her how.
When you say called her back, what do you mean?
I FaceTimed her and was, of course, very upset about the mistake that I made.
Wait, when you say called her back, had you been talking to her beforehand?
Yes, I was on the phone with her on the way to the house.
And then you call her back, and then what?
I tell her just how I made so many assumptions that I should not have made, and I just can't keep doing this with Liam anymore. I was in a very
You weren't present.
stressful. No, I was not.
Go on.
And I will admit that I said some rash things about how I didn't want to see him again, and that this was it.
And then what did she say?
She didn't want me to spend Christmas alone. So she offered to pay for a plane ticket to fly me out to Portland, where she's doing medical school, and to spend the holidays with her.
Okay. Now tell me about your offer to her.
I said, listen, I have a text message. I have evidence.
Yeah, let me see what you said.
And
And you say to her, if you break up with him right now,
if you break up with him, you can...
Didn't she have a return plane ticket?
Yes, but that was after the holidays.
And you couldn't just move it and fly back?
No, I was calling the airline, but between tears and everything.
Listen, if you break up with your boyfriend right now, with your blank boyfriend, I can't imagine what you said. Listen, if you break up with your boyfriend right now, I will literally buy you a flight to stay with me over the holidays. Done. I'm heading for the airport. Thank you again for doing this. Oh my God, of course. Congratulations. I'm so over Liam. You deserve better. Just don't get back with him. No way. All right, so plane leaves at 11, and then you made it to Portland.
Yes.
Did she break up with him that night?
She broke up with him, and we actually had a wonderful time together.
And then when did she go back with him?
So we spent a week together. We promised we FaceTime and text more, after this big loss that she's had. Obviously, she's been with him for a long time. And then, after a few short weeks of her returning, she ghosted me.
Of course, they're going to get back together. I kind of knew it from the very start that There is no escape from Liam, but this girlfriend of hers who was there for her in the time of need sounds like the only one who actually extended help to her when she needed it the most, bought her ticket, flew her all the way to Portland so she doesn't spend Christmas alone, and now she decided to ghost her. Not really a friend-like behavior. Let's go back.
Why'd you ghost her?
I wasn't sure how to tell her without her blowing up that I was giving him a second chance. We decided to restart.
How old are you?
27.
You can't have relationships with people if you're not honest.
That is true. But in this case, I think I was really in the wrong for showing up there unannounced. And
well, I'm not even talking about
Yes.
that. I'm talking about with your friend. I mean, do you want friends other than Liam?
yes,
Right. So, and I presume she means something to you because you've known her for so long.
yes, she does.
And she's the one who made sure you didn't have a Christmas in the alley?
Yes.
If I may,
Right. No, you may not. Right. So if that's true, why wouldn't you call her and say, listen, and especially since she's the one who sent you the plane ticket that you couldn't manage on your own. I don't know why. And you spent the holidays with her at her house. Why would you ghost her rather than saying, if you don't have the valor to call her and talk to her, then at least text her the way y'all do when you don't have valor and tell her, look, I want you to know I'm giving Liam another chance. I'm pregnant or whatever it is you want to say.
I didn't even know she
I'm
was
not
pregnant.
talking to you. Go ahead.
I did not intend to permanently ghost her.
Maybe that's why she didn't feel like she could be honest with you. Go ahead.
I was drafting so many text messages and trying to figure out what I could say.
Yeah,
Figured out
just do the one.
Yes, just trying to figure out what I could say to her to make her understand how I was.
There's nothing you can say to her to make her understand. She hates Liam for you, okay? And she thinks that she's the boss of who you date, clearly, because she's actually come to court to make you pay her because you went back with your boyfriend. But what I don't understand is, look, that we all have flawed friends, but they either mean something to you or they don't. And if they mean something to you, how do you just ghost them because it's easier than actually dealing with them?
It had only been so after I landed and I went back to work about a week later, and during that week we had consistently been talking, and when I went back to work, Liam had left flowers and a card apologizing, and from there it had been almost a week of
If that's all it takes for you to forgive Liam, then why didn't you just send Melissa flowers? If that's the only, if you got over it so fast, then why don't you give her a chance to get over it?
I didn't forgive him with the flowers. I wanted to talk to him about.
Okay, I don't really care about your relationship with Liam. Let's just start. Let me be very clear. That is your business, okay? What I don't understand is why you ghost her when she was so nice. I realize she's pushy as hell. I can see it in here. But if she's nice and kind to you and brings you into her house to spend Christmas with her and pays for that ticket, $818 on your behalf, why would you ghost somebody after that? Just do it. Just send the text and say, if you're too meek to speak to her personally and say to her, listen, I know you're going to be upset, but this is what's going on. I hope you're happy for me. Then you take it like a woman. Take the screaming and then let her write you off. But instead, you wouldn't even give her a chance, which I find kind of terrible on your part, because you certainly gave Liam a chance. According to you, you gave her the money only if she would stay broken up with Liam, except that's not what the text says. What the text says, and I quote, if you break up with your boyfriend right now, I would literally buy you a flight to stay with me over the holidays. She did break up with her boyfriend right then. She actually completed what you think is an enforceable legal concept in court.
But also in the text, Your Honor, I also say don't get back with.
Yeah, so what?
And all I've ever heard are bad stories about Liam.
Yeah, okay.
And
Oh my God, just stop. That is your opinion and you're entitled to it and all that's great. What it isn't is an enforceable legal concept in a court of law. I am not your therapist, okay? I am busy. I have a lot of cases piled up out there. And you're looking me right in the eye and saying, but she shouldn't have gone back with him. And I told her that. And so now she has to pay me $818. No. Even if this were an enforceable contract, which she says is a gift and it feels like a gift, the best you got is if you break up with him right now, I'll send you a ticket. Done. I broke up with him, which she did. And then you sent her a ticket. So it's completed. She actually did what you said. Do you really think that you can control monetarily who she ends up with?
We made an agreement.
No, you never made the agreement. And if you go back with him, you have to pay me back the $818. Where's that? Verdict for the defendant.
I'm kind of disappointed in this ruling. I really feel the friend had a point, and she paid that money for that ticket to get her away from that toxic relationship. And from what it looks like, they're back together. However, I wonder if she got to meet his parents finally, and now that she's pregnant, maybe she is good enough for him. Maybe the mother changed her mind. I wonder what happened with that. She keeps blaming herself for what happened at the house. But come on, guys, this is like a Bridget Jones type thing. She's supposed to fly in. He's supposed to walk out of the house, give her a huge hug, bring her back into the house, introduce her to his parents, and propose right then. And that would be the end of the story. Everyone is happy and lives happily ever after. But that's not what happened. So in a parallel universe, what she did was romantic and cute and lovely, but wasn't appreciated by her boyfriend. What did you guys think about this case? Do you think the plaintiff is entitled to the money she paid for the ticket, or do you think the judge ruled correctly? Please put it in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.